welcome back to the Off-Grid family. Today I'm going to be doing, editing a video that I wasn't planning on putting online. Before I do any of my actual videos, I often do a dry run or a trial run or whatever, and then I'll work out all the kinks and the problems and so on, and then I edit it and put it out there. This one was to be about HDPE and how to get it into a solid, usable, manageable block. In the UK we get our milk in cartons like this, and they're made of HDPE and we get through a lot of milk. We've got 2 kids and I have ultra milky coffees and drink way too many of them. So I hate just chucking stuff away. And so I wanted to make something that was a bit more usable. Now, this was the plan, to make a thin tube of solid HDPE, which could then be used for another project I've got going on. Now, in this state, it could be used to be put on a lathe and spun into handles of different chisels or whatever, you know, screwdrivers more accurately. But I've got another idea for this, which will be part 2. But as I say, I normally would do a test run, but this turned out exactly how I would have wanted. The only error that I had was I was using some heat-proof gloves that were red, and there is bits of red where I was holding it and it was sticking to it. It was pulling bits of the material away. That is the only thing that went wrong in this whole process. So I'm going to go over the footage, and if I need to elaborate on anything I will redo it, but I'll give you some close-ups of this as well. But it worked so well and it was so simple that I thought, you know, there's no point in me redoing it. It just worked, you know, everything was absolutely fine. So it's not going to be the best recording in the whole world, but everything's there, you know, every bit of information you need to know is there, because that's how I do it when I do my test runs anyway. But this is part of a huge series of HDPE, because what I want to do is get this into a usable form for people with 3D printers and so on, as well as the hobbyist who wants to be able to put it into moulds. There's a lot of stuff I want to do with this, and these are all cartons that I've cut up previously to be able to store. I'm going to get them all into this kind of shape, and then from that I'm going to be doing some other projects. So stay tuned for all that, but I hope you enjoy it. One thing I'm not sure if I mentioned in the other stuff, because it was obviously for me, was make sure you wear safety things, like gloves are a must. This stuff stays hot for ages. I put it in some water after I turned the cameras off, and it was in water for about 25 minutes, and I'd get it out the water and I could feel it was still a little bit warm, and then 5 minutes later it would, from the core, it would have heated itself back up, so it was untouchable again. So always wear safety gloves. This stuff, unlike things like metal or whatever, it doesn't look like it's boiling hot, but it will melt your skin. You know, just go careful. Anyway, enjoy the video. See you later. I often see people using brown paper, you know, like greaseproof paper, but I've got this, which is an oven liner. What you do is you put it in the bottom of your oven, and any crap falls through, you know, and if you're making a cake or if you're making shepherd's pie, anything that drops on it, you just take it out, give it a wash, job done. So I thought I'd use that because I think we're going to be able to move the plastic around a little bit better on that. And also, one other thing I've got, me gloves. Always have yourself some heat resistant gloves. Now I've got no choice but to do it in my grill here, because I don't have any of these special fancy, you know, 12 volt jobbies or any of that kind of thing. So I'm going to try it at that height. I'm going to use a high temperature thermometer and try and get an exact reading for when it starts to melt and safety and so on. But I'm going to put the actual oven liner on there and then have the plastic directly onto that. Voila. Now I've put it on like this, and as you can see, I think that's really a bit too close to the grill, so I'm going to actually turn this grill, this rack over, so that they'll be down just a centimetre. Okay, that's a little bit better. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it around this side, so that we don't get any edges that are too close to the heat. Put it on number 3. Unfortunately, I don't have a thermostat on it, so we're just going to have to rely on the thermometer, which I'm going to place in here. I actually bought this for my foundry, so quite handy. Now there's already some melting right at the back. Yeah, it's gone. I'm going to pull it out quickly to show you, but it's gone completely see-through. Gonna just plop the whole lot on. Okay, I'm going to turn it over now. Now, if this had been my fingers, I'd be in a lot of trouble then, because that is extremely sticky. So please wear safety gloves. If you have a look, that is completely melted to my glove. There's actually smoke coming off the mat, which is never a good sign, but it has been used in our oven for a while, so we should be okay. We're at about 124 degrees, but that's because the probe is now facing up and it's a bit higher. About 118. Okay, I'm moving the probe out of the way now. We know around 100 degrees, 120 is about right. I'm just going to move you back slightly, just so that we can turn this. Because one part is now quite liquefied, and how we want it, the other side doesn't seem to be. Now this top bit here is starting to white again, this front bit I mean, so I'll put it in a bit deeper. Right. Okay, one thing I just noticed was a lot of the red off my glove just got stuck in the plastic, which can't be done. I'll have to find a better way of turning it. Here's my better way of turning it. A couple of spoons. Now I'm going to turn up the temperature, only a little bit, but I'll get the temperature probe again. We're up to about 150 degrees. That's degrees C. Take our handy mixing device, and again, turn it over. Now that is the tool I'm going to be using to compress it. I have got a video on how to make that, so if it works I will put a link in the description and up in one of the corners, whichever one it goes in. It's extremely pliable, and I'm quite. You hear a lot of people say it's not, you can't work with it very well, but actually, that is very, very soft, very usable. Now, as I want to take it out fairly soon, I'm actually going to turn the temperature up a little bit more again. Even though this seems to be ideal for melting it, I want it just to be at its absolute softest it can be. So, I'm going to turn it up by another 50 degrees, and I'm just going to put it on each side just for a couple of minutes on this side, a couple of minutes on the other side, and then I will take it out and hopefully compress it. Now, the one thing not to do at this point is to start rushing yourself. This is where a lot of people will start going, you know, trying to hurry themselves along and get it done very quickly, etc. Take your time. With anything like this, take your time. Otherwise, that is where accidents do happen. Right, turn it over. Oh. Still isn't quite round enough. So I'm gonna squish it out a bit more. Right. Okay, it's nearly ready to come out. The second that whiteness has disappeared, I'll take it out. Let me just zoom in on that a sec. Can you see the whiteness there? The second that's gone, I will take it straight out and start working on it. Okay, leaving the pipe in there for a sec, I'm going to take this out and I'm going to roll it. And this is another reason why I used the liner, because it's very easily pliable. Okay, that'll do. And let's see if we can get this in here safely. No. Right, what I'm going to do, I'm going to spend a bit of time rolling it up. Not as easy as rolling out fondant. Once it's rolled out, I'm going to put it back in for a minute. Okay, keeping it rolled up in this, I'm going to put it back in. No, I'm not. I'm going to put it back in, but I'm not going to roll it up. Okay, I'm getting the pipe out. Now this is the idea that's either going to make this project or break it. I've got some of this rubbish spray oil stuff. I'm going to spray it down the centre, just to hopefully stop the plastic sticking to it. Now, again, let's take this out as quickly as we can, roll it, hopefully not try cooling it off too much. Come on, out it comes. As this is only a test, I'm gonna roll it out as much as possible. Okay, now into our compressor. Right, now it's ballooned out in certain places, so hopefully that's a good sign. Let's try and pull this out, and now like before, let's try and squeeze it out. I might have to cut all the little bits of plastic off the sides. It looks as though it's worked. One thing I'll do now quickly, something I hadn't thought of. Plop it straight into cold water. Out, still very hot, as I'm sure you would have guessed had you done this yourself. Now that'll either cause it to cool down or explode. I'm not sure which. In fact, I'm getting it scared. So, now we just leave that to cool down. Now that is just steam coming off it, by the way. Okay, and there you have it. How to turn this into this. I'm going to be doing lots more videos on this because I want to take this solid mass now and turn it into granules, turn it into a thin wire and various other things. There's a lot I want to do with this. Eventually I want to do injection moulding and just different bits and pieces, all stuff that will help me in other projects. If I can get this to be injection molded into any shape I want, then that's me being able to make a lot more things, because I can't afford a 3D printer or anything, so this would be my cheap man's 3D printer kind of thing. But you know, as I say, I got a lot of this. You'll see me do this many more times, but in less and less detail, or certain bits in more detail as I refine the process. What I thought I'd do is I'll make another quick video that will probably be on after this one, and if there is, I'll put another link up here. Or there, I think it is. Of how I made the actual compression thing. It was the thing I used for compressing the fire bricks in, I think it was my first ever video. Yeah, it was the first thing I ever made for this channel. So I'll quickly do a quick overview of how I made that. It's very, very simple. And I will refine that. I'll make a version just for this project. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you again very soon. Bye for now.